So I'm going to start a series where I share the dumbest shit men have said to my friends and embroider it on a t-shirt because what the fuck? I'm starting with my favorite one. My friend met a guy at the gym because she's a gym girly, and it started with them just making eye contact, and they said hi one day and then actually had conversation after. One day after the gym, he walked her to her car, and they just sat in her car talking for like an hour. Casual conversation and like just getting to know each other. But then a few days later, he walked her to her car and went in for a kiss. I mean, she wasn't mad about it because he was good looking. But then one day the guy was like, "Oh, how can a pretty girl like you be single?" And she's like, "Oh, I wonder the same thing about you." Do you want to know what this man said to her? He was like, "Who said I was single?" It's safe to say that she's never spoken to a man again. So I wasn't expecting to get the response that I did from my last video, but here we are with number 2 of Dumb Shit Men Say. If you're new here, hi, I'm Kat. I'm taking all the dumb shit men have said to my friends and I'm embroidering it on a t-shirt for them. Now, this one is great, and I think I might like this one better than the last story. My one friend was dating a guy for 9 months who she thought was pretty serious. He was all about her and met her family and everything. Everything was great until she felt like he was distancing himself from her. Texts were coming in slower, he would agree to go to events with her and wouldn't show up, stuff like that. She started digging through social media, which, honestly, she should have done first. But she found a woman through his page, and this woman had photos of 4 kids on his page that looked exactly like him. The next time they saw each other, she asked him if there was anything he'd like to admit to, and he responds with, "How'd you find out?" Sir, why didn't you tell me you had kids?" And when things couldn't be any more shocking, he responds with, "I didn't tell you I had kids because you didn't ask." I'm sorry, what? Okay, we're back with number 3 of Dumb Shit Men Say. First of all, I'd like to say thank you to everyone who's DM'd me sharing their stories. I just spent the whole weekend laughing. If you're new here, hi, I'm Kat, and I'm taking all the dumb shit men have said to my friends, and I'm embroidering on a t-shirt for them. Now, this one has me speechless. My friend works at an ER for animals and was dating this guy for 5 years. She's met his family, he's met hers, they stay over each other's houses, we're on vacation together, relationship things. A month ago, his family dog got sick, and he brought it into her job. The dog needed to be hospitalized, but he couldn't afford it. He asked her if she would help him because the dog was his girlfriend's dog. Now, I know my friend was confused because she ain't got a dog. So she asked him, girlfriend? And he dead looked at her confused. She asked him if he was seeing someone else, and without hesitation, this man said yes. Now, can you guess what he said when she asked him how long he's been seeing this other woman? He tells her, "No, you are the other woman." I can't. We're back with part 4 of Embroidering Dumb Shit Men Say. Girlies, this one might top them all. If you're new here, hi, I'm Kat. I'm taking all the dumb shit men have said to my friends, and I'm embroidering it on a t-shirt for them. My friend met her man on Hinge and dated for about 2 years. They hit it off right away, and immediately she knew that she wanted to be with him. He was never married, he's got a great relationship with his family, great job, and she knew that he didn't have any kids, which was very important to her. After a couple of months of talking, they decided to make it exclusive. Everything was amazing until one day when she comes across a comment from a girl on his mother's Facebook page. Don't ask me what she's doing on her mother's Facebook page. But she goes on the profile and sees pictures of kids, of course, that look just like him. She got confirmation that the 2 boys were his kids from the comment his mother left on the photos. The comment read, "Wow, my 2 beautiful grandsons are growing up." Now, unless mom is just trying to stir the pot here, this man is a liar. My friend confronted him the next time that they saw each other, and of course, with confusion, he replies, "Oh, I thought you meant if I had any kids living with me, not if I had kids." Huh? Here we go with day 5 of Embroidering Dumb Shit Men Say. If you're new here, hi, I'm Kat, and I'm taking all the dumb shit men have said to my friends, and I'm embroidering on a t-shirt for them. Thanks to everyone who's been sending over your stories, whether it's through DM or commenting on my videos. It's nice to know that it's just not me and my friends that are victims of Dumb Shit Men Say. So my one friend was out in Soho grabbing a drink with one of her friends for her birthday. After leaving the bar, she ran to a man who ironically was also celebrating his birthday that night, and comes to find out that they were born 5 hours apart and were both originally from the same area in London. They talked a little outside, but ended up going to another bar together and just had a great night together getting drinks and dancing. From there, they started texting, calling each other, hanging out, going on dates, but he refused to put a label on it. Mind you, it's been a few months. When she asked, he would tell her they weren't boyfriend and girlfriend, but he doesn't like the term friends with benefits either. This man really tells her, "No, we're not dating, but if you sleep with anyone else, we're breaking up." To which she asks him what they were, and he has the nerve to say, "We're in each other's lives." Here we are with day 6 of Embroidering Dumb Shit Men Say. If you're new here, hi, I'm Kat. I'm taking all the dumb shit men have said to my friends, and I'm embroidering on a t-shirt for them. So my friend was dating this one guy for 3 months. One day, my friend and this guy came to visit New York to celebrate one of her friends. Their time in New York was so much fun, no drama at all. He met her friends really liked him, everything was amazing. It was on the flight back to Cali that things start getting weird. His phone starts to blow up, and of course, it's none other than his ex. Apparently, he told her he went back home to visit England, not New York. Now, why would his ex be blowing up his phone? Seeing the name on his phone, my friend starts snooping on Facebook, which is wild because she was sitting right next to him on the plane. Now, mind you, this man doesn't have any social media, so she was never able to find anything on him. She comes across the ex on Facebook, crazy girl, and what does she see? Wedding photos that were kind of recent. Right then and there, she looks at him and asks him, "Were you married?" He, off guard, looks at her and responds, "Was I married? No, I am married." Hello, day 7 of Embroidering Dumb Shit Men Say. If you're new here, hi, I'm Kat. I'm taking all the dumb shit men have said to my friends, and I'm embroidering on a t-shirt for them. My one friend dated this guy for over a year. They met on one of the apps and casually dated for a few months before making it official. For the most part, the relationship seemed perfect. He was such a sweet guy. Her parents loved him, and he got along with her brother. They had a great balance between spending time with each other and hanging out with their own friends. He always encouraged girlies' nights, and he always had his guy nights too. It seemed like a very healthy relationship. One day they were in his car and he gets an incoming phone call from someone. She sees the name pop up on the screen and recognizes it because she's seen text notifications from this person before. He immediately rejects the call, and when my friend asks him who that was, he responds with, "I don't know why this girl's calling me. Her and I used to date years before we met." Friend gets home that night and starts going through his Instagram followers looking for the name and finds a profile matching the name, and fortunately for her, it was public. She's going through his profile and sees maternity pictures with, of course, her boyfriend. The next time she saw him, she confronts him, and he admits to it, and almost shocked that she was mad at him over this. This man looks at her dead in the eyes and says, "People date people with kids all the time. That's not what it, no. Day 8 of Embroidering Dumb Shit Men Say. If you're new here, hi, I'm Kat. I'm taking all the dumb shit men have said to my friends, and I'm embroidering on a t-shirt for them. Not sure if this is considered dumb, but it's for sure effed up. This one was actually sent in to me, and it seems like they're still married. My friend and her husband were together for 10 years. One day around 11 in the morning, she got a phone call from her grandmother saying her cousin just died in a car accident. She tells her husband, who consoles her at first, but then proceeds to ask if she wants to go to the Verizon store with him to check out phones. Okay. She's in the store obviously not doing so well, and he's just there taking a sweet old time looking at phones with his friend who was also there with them. The sales lady notices my friend upset, and after my friend apologizes for not being able to control her feelings, the sales lady gives her condolences. They finally leave the store after 3 hours. They were looking at phones for 3 hours. But afterwards, they drop off the friend at his house, and then they start looking for something to eat. Mind you, my friend is still distraught. Hearing her crying in the car, her husband turns off the radio, looks at her with a serious face, and goes, "You're sad because you want to be. Girl." Day 9 of Embroidering Dumb Shit Men Say. If you're new here, hi, I'm Kat. I'm taking all the dumb shit men have said to my friends, and I'm embroidering on a t-shirt for them. When I tell you, my jaw was on the ground when I heard this story. My one friend met a guy from Europe and instantly fell in love with him. They went on a few dates until he had to go back home. She planned on moving down to Europe for her studies, so they continued doing long distance, knowing it was only going to be for a few months. A week after he was gone, he FaceTimes her and tells her that he really likes her and misses her so much, and asks if she would like to be exclusive. Of course, my friend said yes. From there, things got pretty serious. She moved to a nearby town in Germany, and they talked about the future, about getting married and having kids. One day, she left for a 3-week trip, and by week 2, she noticed he was being distant. When she asked, he would just apologize and say he's been out with his friends. After her trip, they were hanging out one day, and she caught him looking at pics of another girl on his phone. She asked him who it was, and he said it was his ex that he missed. Pause. He then says, "I don't know if I'm ready to have a girlfriend yet. I just want to focus on my career." Weird, because he wanted to be exclusive months ago. She asked him what he meant by that because she's been his girlfriend for over 3 months. This man looks at her and says, "No. I asked if you wanted to be exclusive, meaning to me. I was never exclusive with you." Day 10 of Embroidering Dumb Shit Men Say. If you're new here, hi, I'm Kat. I'm taking all the dumb shit men have said to my friends and embroidering on a t-shirt for them. This one has to do with religion, so if you are sensitive, take this as a trigger warning. My one friend got engaged to her boyfriend a few years ago. She was raised Catholic but is not religious. Her fiance, on the other hand, is. Him and his family were very adamant about having a traditional Catholic wedding, and because my friend was raised Catholic, her parents were too. Her fiance asked her to take classes to get confirmed in the Catholic Church in order to get married in that church. She didn't want to do it, but because she loves him and respects his religious beliefs, she did it. After she got confirmed, they started planning the big wedding. Things looked perfect from the outside. They rarely fought, everyone was excited for this wedding, and they seemed madly in love with each other and eager to get married. They've been together for years, and my friend never once saw any red flags or suspected any cheating from her fiancé. I think you know where this one's going. 6 months before the wedding, he tells her he can't marry her. Turns out, he got another woman pregnant. She knew she needed to end it, but asked him what he was going to do. He says, "I have to marry her now. It's a Catholic thing to do." I mean, where was this energy when he was cheating? Day 11 of Embroidering Dumb Shit Men Say. If you're new here, hi, I'm Kat. I'm taking all the dumb shit men have said to my friends and embroidering on a t-shirt for them. Now this one's a doozy. My friend was casually dating this guy, and when things started getting serious, they agreed to not date other people, so I guess this makes them exclusive. One day he goes on a group vacation with a bunch of friends, both male and female. One friend in particular my friend knows and is actually friends with her and knows the guy that she's seeing. So he comes back from the trip, things are still great between my friend and him. A few weeks later, my friend helps him move, and out of the blue, he weirdly mentions that that girl is now single. My friend was caught off guard because they weren't talking about the girl or even the trip, so she was questioning why this was on his mind. Later that night, she brings it up and asks if anything had happened between him and that girl on the trip. He admits to sleeping with her, and of course, my friend ends things. He was shocked that she said it was over, as if cheating is acceptable. And when she brought up their combo about not dating other people and being exclusive, he goes, I didn't think agreeing to not date other people was the same as agreeing to not sleep with other people. Huh? I mean, are you even surprised that this is yet another dumb shit men say video? If you're new here, hi, I'm Kat. I'm taking all the dumb shit men have said to my friends and embroidering on a t-shirt for them. I think this is what, day 11? My one friend was dating this guy that she met through a mutual friend, and they were together for a little less than a year. Like the other stories, things had been going great between them. They really felt a deep connection and got along with each other's family and friends. A few months in, he would cancel their plans a lot and would tell her he had to work overtime. My friend ate this lie up. Then there was this one day that he texted her saying that he needed to cancel their plans because work was so busy and he didn't even have time to eat. Being the kind person my friend is, she packed him dinner and even lunch for the next few days and was going to drop her off at his place. Now this detail was left out, but I'm assuming she had the ability to get into his building. Well, anyway, she gets to his place, and as she's walking into his building, she walks past his window, and she sees him in the living room with another woman. They make eye contact, and of course he refuses to open the door for her. After a week of not hearing from him, he finally reaches out and admits to cheating on her. His excuse? The fact that I can cheat on you with multiple women and still want to be with you in the end shows how loyal I am. Nuh-uh.
So I can't just sit here and act like men are the only ones that say dumb shit. Women, and myself included, tend to say dumb shit all the time. We just like to call it being delusional. If you're new here, hi, I'm Kat, and I started this series by taking all the dumb shit men have said to my friends and embroidering on a t-shirt for them. This story is different than my typical stories. Today, we're calling out one of my girlies for being delu though. My one friend was moving into her new town, and while moving, she met her new neighbor. They talked for a little and realized they had mutual friends, so they added each other on social media. Things between them were just friendly until one day he makes the first move and started sending pics and asking for some in return. My friend took this as him being very attracted to her and obviously wanting to be with her. One night she needed a ride home from work and he offered to take her home, and of course that night they ended up hooking up. The next day my friend told her girls that she finally hooked up with the hot neighbor, and because of the mutual friends it eventually got to him. He sent my friend multiple messages starting her to keep his name out of her mouth. Her excuse for him? He must be a private person. Now plot twist, this wasn't my friend, although I like to say we're friends now. The story was actually from a book, The Red Flags I've Repeatedly Ignored. Rihanna shares her dating stories and all the red flags she completely ignored. If you're looking for a good read, this book is a must.
Back with another dumb shit men say. If you're new here, hi, I'm Kat. I'm taking all the dumb shit men I've said to my friends and embroidering on a t-shirt for them. Before I get into this one, I want to say thanks to everyone who's been sending me your stories. Although majority of the stories are things that men have said, I've gotten some pretty good ones of dumb shit that women have said. Keep them coming so I can share those next. So my one friend was married to her ex-husband for 8 years. Side note, she's currently in the process of getting a divorce. But last year, she found out she was pregnant with her youngest, and of course, her and her husband were happy about it. For the beginning of her pregnancy, things were great. She was feeling well, had no issues. Her and her husband were just very excited to be giving their child a little sibling. One day, my friend goes to the doctor's for a regular checkup and unfortunately receives terrible news. Her doctor finds out that her pregnancy has some serious complications, and these complications could have led to her or her child passing during labor. She didn't want to tell her husband over the phone, so she waited to get home to tell him. She gets home, sits him down, tells him, and his first response? I'm so happy I didn't get a vasectomy in case I need to start a new family. Honestly, girl, good riddance.
Not the girlies thinking that we were in the clear when I started this series. If you're new here, hi, I'm Kat. I'm taking all the dumb shit men have said to my friends and I'm embroidering on a t-shirt for them. Except this one was said by a girl. My one friend grew up with a girl who she considered to be her best friend. This girl was a sweetheart, always willing to share, big gift giver, and all around a great person. But she was an airhead. She was always a little behind on the joke, and my friend even got her to go into the store and ask for a blinker fluid. One day they were all hanging out and having a game night, and this girl couldn't stop throwing up. She was clammy, couldn't keep food down, and was super sleepy. Everyone thought it was food poisoning, so they decided to drive her to the ER. It was just my friend and the girl that went into their room while the rest waited in the car. The doctor did the usual tests and quickly discovered that she was pregnant. She was 4 weeks into her pregnancy, and the doctor let her know that she needed to follow up with the OB. The girl was completely shaken and confused, also terrified because she was nowhere near ready to have a kid. They leave and get back into the car, and the rest of the friends asked if it was actually food poisoning. The girl tells the group that she found out that she was pregnant, and after an awkward silence goes, I don't know how I got pregnant. I peed after we were done.
I'm glad this one at least has a happy ending. If you're new here, hi, I'm Kat. I'm taking all the dumb shit both men and women have said to my friends and embroidering on a t-shirt for them. My one friend used to date this guy who went to the same college as her. He was a very smart and wealthy guy from a big city and used to attend private school. His mom was from a rough inner city area and adopted a few boys after she divorced his dad. Now his dad, he got remarried and him and his new wife were super wealthy and successful. Naturally, the guy was closer to his dad and was obsessed with the stepmom. He hated his mom for no apparent reason. A red flag. One day he told my friend he was going out of town to visit one of his friends. Said friend ended up being his ex-girlfriend. My friend finds out he cheated on her, and before she could even confront him, he breaks up with her as soon as he gets back from his trip. They go a few weeks with no contact, and during this time, she actually got a gift from his mom that said, "I'm sorry for my son." Me too, girl. After a while, he breaks no contact, they catch up, and he admits that he told his parents that he cheated on her. His dad actually told them that he should have never said anything to her. What a man. When my friend asked him why he did this, he responds with, "Ever since my parents got divorced, I've had issues with my mom, and that's why I cheated on you."
Can you imagine finding out the person you were dating was handing out unsolicited pics like it was free samples at a grocery store? My one friend was talking to this guy and was really into him. But after a few days of texting back and forth, she started getting unsolicited pics from him. After they stopped talking, she found out he was notorious for sending unsolicited pics. Many girls came out sharing their same experience with him in an online community group. Thankfully, now there's a new app that allows you to share your dating experiences. Date Detective is on a mission to create a safer dating environment through the power of information. Their app allows you to review your dates and share your dating experiences while maintaining your privacy. You're able to find reviews about someone by using their name, email, phone number, or social media username. Now, first I was worried because if I were to share a story or an uncomfortable situation I endured while dating someone, I wouldn't want to put their information out there for others to find that person. But because Date Detective really prioritizes not only your safety, but the safety of others, personal information is never displayed on the dating reviews, and you can choose to post your reviews anonymously. So when you submit a review with personal information, no one can see the last name, number, or IG. But anyone who knows the person's personal information can do a quick search to find all the reviews associated with that person. Of course, I need to remind everyone that this should be used to help protect others while dating and not to bash a date that just didn't work out. Date Detective is now available on Google Play and Apple App Store.
Okay, so I hope you girlies miss these stories as much as I miss sharing them. If you're new here, hi, I'm Kat, and I'm embroidering dumb shit set on t-shirts for my friends. This one has left my friends and I laughing for the past 2 weeks. My one friend has been pen pals with this guy for what seems like for years. They originally met online with the intentions to date each other, but because of how far they lived, they just stuck with being online friends. Years have gone by and they always find themselves reaching out to each other in between their relationships. They had so much in common and truly enjoyed texting and FaceTiming each other. Eventually, their combos got really flirty, and if they had something to drink, combos would get graphic, which I feel like they both really liked. So the guy finally ends up moving closer to her town due to work, and they both agreed to finally meeting up with each other. Now, they've been flirting back and forth for so long, they knew exactly what was about to go down. The day comes and they meet up at a bar where they had such a great time and spent hours at. They end up going back to his place, and the next thing you know, they start to hook up. She ends up helping him out, if you know what I mean, and when she initiates intimacy, he immediately stops her and says, "Sorry, I don't hook up on the first time." I mean, I guess it doesn't count if you're the one just sitting there. Okay, this story is absolutely insane. If you're new here, hi, I'm Kat. I'm embroidering dumb shit set on t-shirts for my friends. My one friend was seeing this guy, and after a few months, the relationship quickly grew. They never really did the whole boyfriend and girlfriend thing and just kind of let the relationship flow naturally. Eventually, they agreed on an anniversary date, which ended up being just the day of their first date. They seemed perfect for each other. They were both good-looking, successful, and had so much in common. Shortly after picking that anniversary date, she ends up moving in with him. She was scared of moving in with him because you all know that relationships can get rocky once you move in with your partner. But for them, things were great until they weren't. A few months in, she finds out that he was actually engaged to a woman he'd been with for 3 years. And just in case you thought that was the worst part, it's not. He was also sleeping with his fiance's sister behind her back. Sir? My friend confronts him about it and asks why he would even pursue a relationship with her and have her move in. His response? Well, we never really talked about exclusivity. Well, damn.
Oi, amigas. Hello. If you're new here, hi, I'm Kat. I'm taking all the dumb shit sets of my friends and embroidering on a t-shirt for them. This one was sent in from one of my guy friends. So my one friend met this girl at a bar a few months ago. She was out for a girls' night with 2 of her friends, and my friend happened to be there with 2 of his guy friends as well. His friend started talking to one of her friends, and naturally the group got together and they all hung out drinking for the rest of the night. The combo was very respectful since both of her friends said that they were married, and one of the guys my friend was with is in a committed relationship. Once the night came to an end, everyone said bye, but the one girl who didn't claim to be in a relationship personally asked for my friend's number. They exchanged numbers, and from that night texted every day. They talked about what they want in life, past relationships, if they want kids. My friend casually joked saying that she seemed like the perfect girl and asked if she's sure she's not married. She laughed and said, "No, I'm not married." They dated for a few months and things seemed to be going really well. Until one day she gets tagged in a photo on Instagram. And of course, my friend starts creeping in the comments. He finds a man who commented, went on his profile, and on the profile saw a ring emoji with her IG handle next to it. The next time he saw her, he calmly asked her if she's being honest about not being married. He brings up the man's profile, shows her. She said, "I'm not married. I'm just a fiance." Well, she's not lying.